guys, welcome back. I'm Sydney if you guys are new. I have a almost 2-year-old daughter. Her name is Alice and a wonderful boyfriend of 4 years. So in this video I'm just gonna go through like my labor and delivery story and give you guys like a little bit of a history on what we found out while I was pregnant, because it kind of puts an effect of why stuff happened in my delivery. So yeah. So when we found out we were having a girl, they also told us that our daughter had a bronchopulmonary secretion, or BPS, or CPS, however you guys want to go about it. And basically it's a mass on her lung, and it can cause cancer in adolescents and stuff like that. So they referred us down to a hospital down about 45 minutes away from us, because they had a level 4 NICU just in case if she needed it. As to the hospital that we lived, like where we lived at, it only had a level 2, I think it is. And so they told me once I get to like the every other week appointments and stuff, I'd start going down there. So yeah, because they didn't really know if she's gonna like come out breathing, or if she's gonna come out, you know, actually needing surgery right then and there. So that's why we went down to a level 4 NICU. So I had to be induced, and it was like April 23rd. It was a Sunday, and we had to be there at 7:30 p.m. So we went ahead and packed our bags and stuff, and we drove down there. We got there about 7 o'clock-ish. We waited in the waiting room, I guess you would say. And then like they take you back. Excuse me. And then they brought us to our room, and they had me change into a gown and just lay there for a little bit, get comfortable, put like the bags and stuff away, or however we wanted to do it. And then so before my water broke, maybe around 1:30-ish, I can't really remember. So I started shaking really, really bad, and I couldn't talk, I couldn't do anything. Like I just lost all functions, I would say. Not really, because people would ask me questions, and I knew like what I wanted to say, but no, like I couldn't form words. Like it honestly sounded like I was having a stroke, because I was just slurring words. I couldn't talk, like, and I was shaking uncontrollably. The nurse was saying that it was a reaction to the drugs that they were giving me, and then that they couldn't tell Damien anything because we aren't married or whatever. And Damien was like, okay, whatever. And so he went and got my parents and his mom, and they all came in, and they were like, this is not a drug reaction, like this cannot be. And then she was like, okay, well, we kind of gave her an infection with because like what happened was, whenever they inserted the Foley ball, the doctor inserted it too far, and she actually, I can't really remember, they actually like tore the placenta, and that's like the blood that came out. And then I got an infection from that, and then potentially they gave it to Alice just because, you know. And so that's kind of why I was running 104.3 temp. I was shaking uncontrollably. I had the chills. I couldn't talk, anything. So finally, like, I kind of came out of it, but I was still running the fever. And they had to put me on oxygen. And then, like, with every contraction that I started having even more, Alice's heart rate would drop, which I've heard that is pretty, like, not normal, but a lot of people have that happen. And so they took, like, well, they kept the monitors on my belly, but they actually inserted a monitor into the top of her head, which I kind of, like, was terrified about. And then I also had a catheter, and, like, I think I had 3 wires, like, coming out. And then the shaking and the not talking was about, I think, maybe 30 minutes, an hour. And then, like, I went back to normal, but like I said, I was still running the fever. And then they gave me a popsicle, and Damien had given me ice chips. And then, so then at 3:30 a.m., my water had broke. Initially, I didn't know that it was my water because I called the nurse and I was like, hey, I think I'm bleeding again, because I thought like more blood was coming out from the Foley ball incident. And she came in, she was like, there's no blood down there. Let me go get a strip to test and see if your water broke. So she went and my water broke. And then I asked if I could go use the bathroom. Basically not for peeing purposes, but so she took me, and then I went back to bed. And then she was kind of typing stuff into the computer, and then she went to go like exit my room, and I just remember like getting this urge to push, and like I wasn't intentionally pushing, but my body was actually pushing on its own. And I was like, hey, can you please check me? Like, I think I'm at a 10, please check me. And so she checked me, she went, got the doctor, she checked me, and I was actually at a 10. Damien was so happy. He was dancing all around, and he wanted to go get everybody because my mom, my dad, his mom, his dad, and his brother, I don't know, no, my parents and Damien's mom, because his brother had to go to school the day, they went to go get something to eat or something like that, or they were just sitting out in the waiting room. I don't really remember. And he told them, and they were happy, and then they were getting everything ready, and it was kind of cool because like they had like in the ceiling like this stuff like just like comes down, and like I thought that was pretty cool. And so they were getting everything sterilized and everything set up and everything, and then they said she'll be here around 4:30 p.m. like, you know, little did I know. And so I would say I don't really know when I started pushing, because like I hated my delivery room, because like I don't know if it's the same for every room, but my room had no windows, and I felt so claustrophobic. You couldn't tell if it was day or night because I wasn't really on my phone, and neither was Damien. So it was kind of like, is it day, is it night, like I don't know. And so I think I started pushing around 3. No, I don't really know. And then, so my mom and his mom were holding my legs, and Damien was kind of up in my head, and then he'd go down there, and, you know, back and forth. And so I was pushing and stuff, and then, like, every time I'd push, it would just, like, I was pushing against myself. Little did I know, I actually have, my cervix is pointed downwards, so I was basically pushing against myself. And so my nurse, my doctor was kind of like, Cindy, you have to push hard, you have to push. And then like, she was helping me not tear or anything like that. I won't go into too much detail, but thank God for her, because she like prevented me from tearing so many times. And I actually popped a blood vessel in my eye from pushing so hard. Because all I remember was like, my eye hurts, and my eye hurts. And like everybody looked, like the nurse looked at my eye and she was like, yeah, honey, you popped a blood vessel, it'll be okay. So I was like pushing and like holding my eyes shut because it hurt so bad. And then I remember the doctor saying, there's her head, I can see her head, honey, push, push, push. And the nurse had a towel, and like I was hanging on to it, and she was like standing kind of like, I don't really know, like counterclockwise from me, and she was pulling me, and I was like, she was helping me up so I could push more, because I had no strength whatsoever whenever it came to pushing. And then they also gave me bars so I could pull myself up and push. And then they told my mom and Damien's mom to like push my legs back, and so I could like push kind of more, I think. I don't really know. And then I was pushing and stuff, and then like, so they said she would come at 4:30 p.m. She actually came at 8:56 p.m. So, and then Damien cut the umbilical cord, and yeah, so that was kind of my labor and delivery story. If you guys have any questions or something, just comment down below, and then I'm thinking about doing some other videos for you guys, and then yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, that way you guys know when I upload, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye!